Yo, we're back. This is LRS Tier 2. Did one of these, haven't done it in a while. This is our best run from quali. You see, we don't really get the grip here, and that kind of messes up our exit, so we're off to a pretty poor start to the lap. Used a little bit more battery than I would have liked. We got pretty well through here, but I was a little too cautious in the throttle. That was pretty decent. With a little wiggle on exit. And again, right there, we just aren't confident enough on the throttle. So we're just not pushing it to the limit. And that was kind of the story with all of qualifying. It was really just not push it enough or push it too much and invalidate. So not a great qualifying for me. Ended up doing a 30.84, I think. But not much we can really do. We're into the race. We decided to go hard medium here. So if we can keep with that original medium train for this first stint, we'd have much better tires and much fresher tires for the last 10 laps or so. But, yeah, I wasn't incredibly excited for this race. I thought I'd be down on pace, especially after qualifying. I didn't really get much of a chance to practice beforehand, and I just wasn't comfortable. I don't think I had done any laps on a race tire, and especially not under race fuel. But, we live and we learn. That's all we can really say about that. So, on to the race, and as per, I get a really shit start. That's kind of how I run. Didn't get the power down. Coming to turn 1, just try to keep it as clean as possible. Wing damage would really suck, and to avoid the Mercedes on the outside, I kind of compromise a lot of my exit and lose another place. And because of that lack of race testing, I didn't really know how I needed to start, or as you see here, what brake by setting. So that lost me another position on this first lap. Or brake markers or anything really. These first laps are really just kind of testing and trying not to lose places to these medium runners. So yeah, not the worst first laps, but not the best for sure.
Okay, DRS is now available.
So coming into here, again with that bad brake bias setting, I almost spin, and now we're going to have to push and really burn all our battery. And, yeah, that's not optimal. So we want about 50-60% battery, so we can kind of play and make overtakes when we need to. And coming into these laps, I notice that the 3 cars ahead of me are struggling to keep with the front 3. So I really need to start getting past as my tires get better and theirs start to wear down. So coming on to this straight, I decided to burn most of my battery trying to get past fuel. And I ended up getting past. I had to burn a lot because he was burning a lot to defend. But we still got the move done. Now I'm up into what I think is P6. I can't really see it. And We're on to the next lap, and I'm going to try to get Jordy here because Jordy goes deep and gets a snap-on exit. So I'm going to just burn that battery again. I had less battery, but he defends it less. And coming up, I see Frank Tank ahead doesn't have DRS. So I'm the only one with it, so I try to cut across. Thankfully, Jordy wasn't any faster, but now I have to push the rest of my battery, trying to get back within the DRS of these front cars. Thankfully, Mexico's a double DRS for the first two, so I at least get that little bit of boost. I keep my battery in medium here, trying to just go as fast as possible. I mean, you know, if I lose DRS, they can use the DRS and pull away, and I'm going to be stuck trying to defend and trying to work with cars that are clearly not keeping with these front group. So if I don't get into DRS, which I do here, you know, it would pretty much be race over. But coming into here, we're just a little bit too cautious, and then don't get the power down as we would have liked over here. As we're coming over the line, we're just about really close, but just outside of the DRS range. Oh boy, we gotta pick it up. Why did I not get DRS? Why do I not have DRS? Fuck me. So yeah, we're on low battery and we need to push even more because now we're not getting that DRS and they're pulling away from me. So I really need to burn all of my battery and just try and desperately get into that DRS so we can start building again, because especially now that it's lap 12, 13, the medium runners will start to pit and I need that DRS so I can start pushing and I don't get undercut. Because if they pit and I'm at 20-30% battery, I won't be able to push as I need to. I'll get undercut by 10-15 seconds and there's just no way I can catch back up. So coming through this final sector, we just can't really afford to be careful. I end up having a pretty decent final sector, and we're just going to be inside that DRS. So now we have some chance to regain that battery.
Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next
Lower
part
those
of the
tire
track.
pumps a
No
tiny bit.
overtaking through the yellow flags.
Holy shit. Now I gotta regain a bunch of battery. There's a car parked on the entry to turn 1. I think he's just not finished, and that's where the game's parked him, which has slightly messed up my entry to turn 1. But it's messed up the top 3 drivers too, so it's nothing really losing. But now I'm finally in this DRS, and top 3 is really where you want to be. And as we're coming into lap 14 or 15, the medium runners ahead just don't have grip. They're around 14, 15, 16, that's when they just really drop off a cliff. And it's just hard to drive. I mean, it's hard to not spin.
Okay, gap to the car behind, 10 seconds.
So the Haas and the Sauber are going to be pulling into the pits. And I'll have one more lap behind the DRS of the Mercedes to just try to get that last bit of battery and push as hard as I can. Last count. As I say, mid-race, we just need to make these laps count. We need to, you know, not get undercut too bad. I mean, these are the laps that would pretty much decide whether I'll have a chance at a win or not. I mean, as you can see, Lewis is just doesn't have grip. There's just no bite from those mediums. Right here, he's just going to let us past. I mean, at this point, there's nothing he can do. There's no point in holding us both up trying to defend his position when he's really just going to be pitting this lap. So I think now we're just going to push, and I think we'll get a full lap of what this push on the hards will look like. Okay, push lap time. Turn 1, just before the 100-meter board, down into third. We want to be on none battery. Bounce over that first curb, avoid the second, put it in hot lap, burn a little bit of battery.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data
You
is
get the
currently
normal
reading
tire
0.
pressure issue at
Seeing
100-meter
they still look
board.
inflated to you, we're going to
We're going
guess
to
that
put
it's
it
just a
in none,
bad
down into
sensor.
third.
Shouldn't be anything to worry
I
about.
take that beautifully. It's one of the best things. There's no turn-in point here, so you're really just guessing. But into medium and hot lap, turn at the marker board above. That was pretty decent at 4 more laps. And I was wanting to pit lap 20-21 here, because that would give us the best tire delta so we could close in enough, but I was really just trying to figure out whether those first two, and mainly the Haas, were going to catch up and how much they were going to undercut me. Because if they start getting in close within 10 seconds or so, there's no point. As you see, lap we don't get undercut. 19
Remember,
here.
box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance
The Haas
and
is
the
already
speed
up
limit
into
line as
P2
you
again.
approach, and make sure you don't speed.
So we just really need to go in here and not get undercut anymore. And now
12
it's
seconds
just
between you and the car behind.
17 or so push laps to the end, and just trying to make it as fast as we can and trying to get past people as fast as we can. So we get a good pit stop. I didn't really have a brake marker for the pit entry, but we really
Perfect job on
did
the
that
turn
pretty
in
well.
there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
And now we're out. We're back up into
Pit strategy complete.
It's going to be
See these
P4.
tyres through to the end now.
But Jordy's ahead of us on hards that are slower than we are and just older. So we'll get past him pretty easily on the very next lap even. I mean, we have the DRS, we have the tire advantage. He's not going to fight us here. So now it's just going to be catching up to Lewis, catching up to the Haas, catching up to Frank Tank. And this is going to be a full lap of what these mediums look like, because you can just push them so much more. So much more than those hards. And even these first laps, I'm turning in more than I should. Just because I didn't even realize myself how much grip these mediums have. I mean, they're almost the same grip as the softs. We'll just keep pushing and trying to get closer. But I turn sound off or else YouTube will block it. And I won't say anything until the end. Just for no reason here, the Mercedes is holding us up. He's not even on power fully. He's, I mean, at this point, just trying to ruin my race. And I don't know why, but it's obviously not very helpful. Because the more I'm messing around with him, the more the Haas is getting away. I mean, even here, we just get blocked, and that would be a removable time penalty, but, I mean, at this point, who cares? So we're going to try to get past him here on DRS, and he just breaks our wing. I don't really understand what happened there. But before that, I felt like I drove a pretty good race. I think I managed battery as well as I could have. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Deuces.